Hello, everybody. Today we're talking about something a little less political. It's still got a bit of political undertone. Yeah, I I enjoy anime. My wife and I will watch it. We hang out. We put on something. We watch some of the new shows, some of the old shows. Some of our favorites are old ones. But there's something that I had to say about this. Currently, there's a big uproar because, as we've all seen, race swaps happen in one direction over and over and over and over and over again. White characters or Asian characters get turned into black characters over and over and over. And every time it happens, if you say, "Oh yeah, that's cool, but I like the original better," or if you say anything that can even be construed as negative about this new swapped character drawing, you will be called a bigot. You will be called racist. You will be attacked. Horrible things will happen, as far as some people might even send you death threats. It's insane. It's truly insane. So, there's a small funny story about this. This specific story. These two characters got gender swapped. The voice actor for Ken is, I believe he was Hispanic, Afro Hispanic, whatever. He's a mix of Hispanic and black. Momo, I'm not sure what her voice actor is actually. Momo Ayase, voice actor. I don't actually know what she is. Behind the voice actors. Okay, she's, I'm pretty sure, just straight white. So now we know. So, he changed his profile picture to this version of Ken. He said, I like it better, it's more about me, blah, blah, blah. Like, less than 24 hours, that picture was gone. And it was now a fan-made picture of him dressed as Ken or something like that. It was no longer the race-swapped Ken. A bunch of people are under the impression that either his agency or the anime studios themselves said, change it or else. It's not going to be good. And he immediately was like, okay, I'll change it. Which, good for whoever told him, stop that shit. Because that's... I don't care if fan art wants to do its race swap thing. Maybe you want to make a white character black or an Asian character black or whatever your changes might be. But what I do not accept and what I do not stand for is there was a picture of a Splatoon character that still stayed what you would consider not white. I don't know exactly where you would consider it, but it was never considerable to be white to my eyes. It was a lighter tone for that character. Still not white. People gave that person death threats because it wasn't as dark as the original. Okay, maybe they just wanted to lighten it up a little bit just because it would look nicer to them or fit better with their color scheme. Or maybe they didn't actually look at what the specific color was and they just did it from memory. Who knows? But the fact that one side will death threat you if you don't make the black character black, while at the same time praising the actual appropriation of white or Asian characters into black characters, is insane. So, go screw yourself if you're one of those people that thinks that it is ever worthy of death threats for someone race swapping while also defending race swapping in the opposite direction. It's either everyone can do fan art that is whatever race they want it to be, or it's no one can do it. You have to pick one of the two. You cannot be morally justified in saying that I can take this person's art, race swap it to what I want, but no one can take art that I like and race swap it to what I don't like. That's called racist. Period. It's racist to say it's only acceptable to be my color. That's literal racism. So that's a very quick thing on what's going on with that. But I want to talk about, in general, anime stuff over the last year or so. Maybe a little bit longer. So there's 3 points. There's this one, which is, the race swapping and how fans, I'm air quoting fans, are all on one side as far as allowing race swaps. And by fans, I actually mean Western air quote fans, because I don't really understand it. I don't really know how much I would actually classify them as fans. I've been watching anime since I was a kid. Got off school, came home, watched the end of Sailor Moon because older friend was watching Sailor Moon, and then right after Sailor Moon was Dragon Ball Z, and then what was after Dragon Ball Z? Now I'm trying to remember. I can't remember what was after Dragon Ball Z, because all I cared about was Dragon Ball Z. I watched my Dragon Ball Z. I was good to go. I remember all sorts of other shows. I watched Gundam Wing. I watched Dragon Ball Z. I watched Yu Yu Hakusho. I watched later on in life, whenever I started staying up late and watching Adult Swim at night, I saw Big O. I saw, obviously, Cowboy Bebop. I saw, what else? Oh, Dot Hack Sign. I saw tons of anime. Tons of anime. I saw Mobile Suit Gundam. Oh, what was it? Team 8? What was that one? It's been so long since I watched that specific series. But I watched the original Mobile Suit Gundam, Gundam Wing. I watched Endless Waltz the first time it aired on Cartoon Network because I was so into Gundam Wing. I was a super fan since I was young. I'm not wanting to ever change what's going on. Whether the character is black, white, Asian, Indian. Like, I would never even consider changing, what is the name of the character? In the original Dragon Ball, he came to the world tournament, fought for the water so that he could take it home to his village. He was Indian. I wouldn't even consider changing his race. It's a part of him. That's it. Same with, I can't remember the original Dragon Ball character names that showed up in that arc of the world tournament. The big stinky dude that Krillin beat. I cannot think of his name now, but even though he's white, I wouldn't even consider changing his race to any other race. The art folks who make anime / manga, but they make those characters the way they make those characters for a reason. Period. So that's just a little bit of backstory on, like, personally how long I've been watching it. I think that the fans that are the types that fit the previous statement of wanting race swap one way but not the other way are completely recent additions and aren't fans of the actual stories. And I'll address that in a little bit after I hit the 3 points. So first one is the race swapping. Second one is the idea. There was an idea by Sungwa. What was his name? 2 seconds.
Hey, what's up, guys? Right here.
2 seconds. I had a...
Hey, what's up,
What happened to my X one? I don't know now. Oh, also, the same people that get on to people about this, though, are the same types of people that would say that it is cultural appropriation to just have dreads, even though dreads independently formed in like a dozen cultures around the world. The same people that would say that it's cultural appropriation and only black people are allowed to wear dreads are the people who are literally changing anime, a Japanese thing, and wanting to take it over and do these things to it. But the second point was, I cannot remember his name now. It was a YouTuber guy that he ended up doing voice acting. He's a heavier Asian dude. And he made a comment. I don't remember what year it was now. It ways back. And for some reason my ex, who is Furlism? Where is it? X. Why is it not here? This makes no sense. I just had it open. Oh, there it is. Sungwon Cho. I missed it. Sungwon Cho. So Sungwon Cho, I don't know how long ago it was. He made a comment on X/Twitter that people should not be in roles that don't match their race. I don't agree with that. I think if you are a good voice actor, and that you actually, if you're actually good at what you do, he was good at what he did, period. Like, this is probably him.
For cooking, you have to chop off the pincers, head, legs.
Oh, he's Senshi, apparently in Delicious in Dungeon.
Gives you the run something fierce.
Competing against a truly
That is a perfect voice for Senshi. I don't care if he's Asian and Senshi's white. I don't care. That's my opinion of it. But his opinion was, you should not be able to voice a character unless you match. And then, at one point, his agent told him, yeah, that character is white. You're probably not going to get the part. You know? And so the point is, it's not cool to have that opinion. That's called racist. You're actors. It's not like you're putting on blackface to do a black character. That's completely different. You are just doing what the voice director tells you to do. If he says add a little more gravel to it, or if he says you need to deliver this like you just lost your kid, or whatever the case is, if you are able to deliver a convincing, good message, congratulations. You did it. That's all there is to that. There's nothing else to discuss. There's nothing else to worry about. If you do the job good, you do the job good. That's my opinion. But that's a growing thing in anime. That they want basically you to be locked into your racist characters. So congratulations, if you really want that. Black characters are not that common. You're going to make it where there are no black voice actors. And then you'll bitch and say that it's racist. That's how you're going to go, you dumbasses. There aren't that many. Sungwon Cho, he got lucky because he's Asian. And a lot of animes have a lot of Asian characters. He missed out on one thing and bitched about it, by the way, because the specific anime he was auditioning for had a bunch of white characters. I feel bad for you. Absolutely zero. Like, you did it. You are advocating for race-based hiring, which is illegal in most industries. I'm not sure how voice acting works specifically, because I know in acting and theater, you are permitted to hire based on race or sex or age, due to the fact that you need characters that look like characters in a play or in a movie or whatever. But for anime voice acting, I'm not sure if the same protections apply or not, but if not, that's not only racist, it's illegal. So, second point is, it's ridiculous. The same people that say this stuff will bitch about whenever there's no black voice actors, because there's almost no black characters in anime, because black people are extremely rare to see in Japan. They happen every once in a while, but they're extremely rare. That's just a fact of life in Japan. So guess what? They make art based on their lives, based on what they see, based on what they experience. And there aren't a lot of black people. That's just all there is to it. They're not racist about that part. You can have a discussion or a debate on Japanese people's racism, but their art is made based on their experiences. Period. So we're going to look at one specific character. Sid Barrett from Soul Eater. So this is one of the animes I watched a long time ago. So listen to Sid Barrett's voice real quick.
We want to know about the Pyramid of Anubis. Who signed up to take the mission?
Ah, that mission wasn't taken by a student from our school. It's much too difficult for one of you.
If not one of us,
So you hear that voice. That's a pretty good voice. Nice and gravelly. It's got some body to it. It's pretty good. Whoop, not that one. That one. Sid Barrett is voiced by a white dude. He did a damn good job with that voice. In my opinion, at least. And I think a lot of people's opinion was Sid Barrett's voice was fantastic. That's just how it is. Also, the fact that there aren't a lot of Japanese-speaking black people in the world. So having to find a black person who speaks Japanese to do a voice acting role for a Japanese anime kind of seems ridiculous demands-wise. So, point is, Kent Williams crushed it. He knocked Sid out of the park, and he did an awesome job. Fantastic job. Give me just a second. Okay, and then final point, the third point, is this. The localization issues that have happened. So, there was a big thing that happened 4-ish months back that a lot of localizations, including, what's the Dragon Maid title specifically? I haven't watched it. Dragon Maid. Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. This, whenever it was adapted for anime in the West, they made massive changes to it. In the Japanese version, there's a part where the Dragon Maid girl shows up at the door. She's in different clothes. And in Japanese, they say something like, "Oh, you changed." And she was like, "Oh, yeah, I did. You know, I wanted to be more comfortable." I can't remember exactly what the translation was. Whenever it came over to America, the voice actors took it upon themselves to say, instead of, "Oh, yeah, I felt like changing because this would be more comfortable," instead they said, "Oh yeah, I wanted to fight against the patriarchy." You now are completely changing the message of this character. This character was like, "Oh yeah, I wanted to be comfortable," and instead you're making it where she's fighting an oppressive thing. That's a complete shift of the message of that character. You've now changed her from a character that's like, "Oh yeah, you know, I wanted to be relaxed," basically, to, "Oh yeah, I wanted to fight systematic oppression," which doesn't exist, by the way. As a male, we don't have meetings on how to oppress women. In fact, a lot of the times, the people that get told that they are oppressing women don't care about what women want to do. A lot of the times. So, the point is, this English sect of localizers and voice actors have been abusing the fact that Japan has just been letting them localize and adapt anime for years and years. And this gal that did the localization of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid had basically bragged at an expo about doing similar things for a while, and then she started claiming that people were, I believe, bigoted for challenging her on things and things like that. And it's like, you are using this as a shield when you're just wrong. They're not attacking you because you're a woman. They're attacking you because you're taking a character's essence and changing it to deliver your world message, which is not the way it works. You are literally, once again, appropriating Japanese culture in anime, changing the message of it so that it no longer holds its original meaning and its original message, and then putting it out there, claiming that you are a localizer who is giving you the actual stuff from Japan. I don't want your bullshit life views. I want accuracy. If someone wrote the character to be a certain way, your job is to give me the character in that way. If there is a phrase that does not translate to English, you need to find a comparative phrase. Don't change random things willy-nilly. Because of this, they're starting to use AI translations so that you don't have people even doing it. And that's a big thing for the fact that the AI translations are now going to completely remove a sect of jobs for that localization. Personally, I think that they could have just found better localizers that weren't messing with their message. I guess I could also add one more thing because this just reminded me of it. Recently, with all the credit card stuff, like credit card processors want to force Japanese companies to censor things like, what are their names from Demon Slayer? Demon Slayer. Ninja Girls. Sorry. I cannot remember their names. They're not ninjas. They are. They're ninjas. So like they want all the cleavage covered. They want stuff covered. They want stuff removed. They want it fully censored and sanitized for Western audiences. Even in Japan, they want it censored. And that's ridiculous to me because I'm sorry, but Japan gets to make decisions for Japan. If I had the damn money, I'd immediately start a credit card processing company and tell all these Japanese companies, I will process all of your stuff. Go ahead and drop American, well, actually, I don't know who they're using. I don't remember who it was. But I would just tell them, like, go ahead and drop it all. Like, I will cover you. I will process every single transaction that you guys have. But I don't have the money or the means to set that up right now. Maybe in the future I will. It's one of those, like I said in my intro, if I had the money that a lot of these YouTubers do, I'd be making a difference in the world. Part of which would be whenever there's art that's trying to be censored by Western processors, I'd be like, hey, I'm not going to censor you. You guys make the art you want to make. I don't agree with lolly stuff at all. Myself, I think it's gross. I think it's on the verge of child pornography. But, big but, as long as I'm a neutral credit card processor and there's not any sort of actual CP stuff going on, I'll process it. If you start doing actual CP, you're out. That's where lolly gets so dang confusing about it, because it's the case of it's really on the verge of creepy. I get that they want lolly characters for whatever reason, but I do not like it myself. And as long as they don't cross a line, I would still process everyone. But there couldn't be like intimate scenarios with kids under... Since it's Japan, it would have to be Japan's age of consent age, which I don't actually know what that is. I've never actually asked that question. What is Japan's age of consent? Please tell me that it's like 16. 16! Hallelujah. It was 13 before. Little dicey there. Just a little. But hallelujah, they at least raised it to 16. I think 16 is a little low because of whenever I was 16, I was way more mature than people my age. But I still had definite areas that I needed to mature. Definitely. So, my point is this. There's a lot of stuff that's going on in the anime and manga area. Censorship, this racism of the race swaps going only one way, and then literal threats of death on people that don't agree with them. The voice actors wanting to basically be racist, saying you have to match the character you play in order to play them. Then the race swap, the localizations not being accurate, the voice dubs, and the censorship of, I mean, one of the biggest examples was the cleavage of his wives. All that stuff is just, you're not making the art better. You're not. That's all there is to it. And now I'm going to come back around to why I said that I don't understand how these people on the left specifically are fans of anime. I see one part, boobies. There's boobas. And the left is big on sexual liberation and things like that. So you see boobas, you're like, hey, sexually liberated. But actually, there's no indication that his wives are sleeping around. I think the whole time in the red light district, they're there with him, but they're not sleeping with other dudes. I don't think there's ever an implication of that. A lot, I'm sure there's an anime that covers every different style, every different topic, and every different angle. So I'm sure that this is the case. But if you think of so many of the biggest animes out there, they don't follow Western leftist thinking. Western leftist thinking is you should get things just for trying. You shouldn't have to put in the effort. You should be able to do whatever you want. You don't have to contribute. You don't need to be a part of the team. You can be a loner. You can isolate yourself. All the animes that I know care about family and care about hard work. Those are two common, super common themes. Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball, Goku is talking about his grandpa the whole time. Pretty sure the whole time. In Dragon Ball Z, he is talking about Chi-Chi and Gohan, and a lot of adventures hinge around him caring about his family. Goku is an absolute brain dead idiot half the time, but he does care about his family. He just cares about training more, which is stupid on his part. Once you're a father, you're a father, and that should be the big thing. But he trains. Goku trains so hard that he reaches a level that no Saiyan has ever achieved before. Or it was considered myth before, or something like that. I can't remember the exact lore anymore. I haven't watched Dragon Ball Z in a good bit. But he works hard. He trains in extra gravity. He puts on weighted training attire. He does all this stuff. In Naruto, it's the same thing. He works hard. He trains hard. He's a screw up, yes, but he trains hard. He's sad because he doesn't have a family and he's trying to find friends and deal with all this stuff. In Demon Slayer, Kanjiro is one of the hardest working people. He cares about his sister more than anything in the world, and he wants to protect her. He cared about his family before the demon got them. He cares about his friends. He cares about his team. He cares about the world around him, and he steps in to protect people anytime he sees that something's wrong. If he sees a demon attacking a little girl, even if he's not there for the demon, he's helping her. That is the essence of Kanjiro. I mean, shoot, even in the classics like Cowboy Bebop and Trigun, Vash is helping people the whole time. He steps in to help people because it's the right thing to do, not because he's getting rewarded. He steps in to protect women. He does what is right. In Cowboy Bebop, I'm pretty sure there's several episodes where Spike has food or something, and he chooses to open up his heart and give to someone who needs it more than him. Like, there are examples after examples after examples of the biggest animes. Yu Yu Hakusho, another example, where the key to all these people's success is busting their asses, working hard every day, not quitting, not using their power to oppress other people, but instead choosing to fight for people's freedoms. Their freedom to do what they want, their freedom to live how they want, their freedom to be themselves. They fight for all of that. My Hero Academia? Oh man, dude, you guys... Deku is the example of... He cares about his mom. He cares about the people around him. He has a hero. He wants to protect his country. He wants to protect his friends. He has worked hard every day to be able to handle One for All. He's done all of this. Like, every big anime, one after the other after the other. They're all about busting your ass. Working hard, making that progress day by day, and being able to help people who need help. Meanwhile, the Western leftist doesn't want to put in hard work. They don't want to stay in shape. They want to eat what's convenient. They want money just given to them. They support criminals being able to be let out, while every single anime hero says if you do the crime, you go to jail. You have to pay for your crimes. Maybe one day you can be redeemed, but you have to pay for your crimes first. Every single anime is this way. In fact, Cowboy Bebop, they're like, shoot, dude, maybe you're not the right person, but you've got a bounty on your head. I think there was one episode where... There's definitely the one episode where Spike meets... Or was it Jet? I can't remember if it was Spike or Jet now. But one of them meets the target and kind of befriends them, not realizing that it's the target, and then has to turn them in anyways. At least I'm pretty sure. Maybe my memory is jogging. I haven't watched Cowboy Bebop in... Let's see here. Adult Swim would have been in like 2010. So it's been about 14 years. It's been a little bit. But the point is, they all, always, it's common. Justice, family, hard work. Like, Japanese values are great for the American right and terrible for the American left. That's why I see things like... Matt Walsh, I think it was, said that anime's the devil's work or demonic or whatever. It's like, no. There are definitely some that are, but he needs to look at a bunch of these other ones where it's actually extremely prevalent of American right-wing values of hard work, family, and doing the right thing. Protecting kids, all that stuff. Like, there's a lot of stuff that matches up with center-right, right-leaning people. So, I just don't understand how these people that are so woke are actually fans of these shows that have their main characters espousing the values of the people that they claim to hate in their political environment. In my opinion, what I think should happen is that these anime production companies in Japan need to basically clean house in America. If you localize wrong, you're out. If you're a voice actor who espouses basically anything against the animes, you're out. The end. You either believe in the art that you are making, and you get a payday, or you don't, and you don't get a payday, because it is literal cultural appropriation to take the art of another culture, not the art style, the art of another culture, bring it to yours, and then change the meaning of it completely, or whatnot. Whether it's the meaning or the art itself or whatever, you can't take someone else's, change it, and then say, this isn't cultural appropriation, this is just making it better. No, you're appropriating their culture. They made big booba ninja waifus. You took it and said, this is mine now. When it's not. It is still theirs. You were hired to do one specific job. Give a voice to this character, or localize it so that phrasing made sense to the local audience. If you do anything past that, you are now stealing their culture. The end. I think that it would be a huge thing for Japanese anime to just clean house. Any voice actors that are espousing that stuff, gone. Any localizers that are espousing that stuff, gone. I'm sure you can find voice actors that are not woke. I am 100% sure you can find voice actors who are not woke. I'm not woke, and I wouldn't mind trying voice acting. And I'm sure there are tens of thousands of people like me that are like, yeah, I could do voice acting. Even if I got just a few roles, it would be fun to do. That's how people are. They would enjoy it. I guarantee it. So with that, I'm going to end it here. Thank you all for listening to this bit of a rant about anime, because I'm a big fan. I would hate to see a massive shift in what content they make and what stuff they do and all that stuff. I am disgusted by any voice actor who says that your race matters. And it's just unacceptable to me that there's death threats if you make a black character just a little less black, let alone if you made them white. But those same people love to have it go the other way. I hate hypocrisy. It is one of my biggest pet peeves. If you espouse one direction and then you actually go the other way whenever the situation is flipped, go fuck yourself. I don't want to have anything to do with you. You have immediately voided all of your opinion. You have immediately voided all of your words in that entire transaction. You may be able to get another transaction in later, but that one is done. It'll be immediately discarded. Because if you can't live by your own standards, I don't care about your standards. The end.